This is Mint, and this is a Worship Harvest Worship Resources. We think that we can make our experiences better if there are a few things that we know. Apple likes to teach us that the only limitation to your next level is something that you don't know. Okay? It's like saying that if you knew just as another aspect of what you're doing, you'd enter into a new dimension, a new role, a new way of thinking. And so today I'm thinking that we can, you know, work on something technical in terms of music. I want to introduce you to the major scale. And I'm back as the teacher with a red and black marker. Yes. Okay. Okay, so the major scale. The major scale is, let's call it the skeleton of music. You see how I have a shirt on, underneath I have the skin, underneath I have other layers of the skin until I get to the skeleton. Okay, so when I play something on the piano, you know, I'm in the key of C. Beautiful. I felt that. But here's the thing about music. When I'm playing it like that, you sort of are wondering what is he doing? Why is he going there? What is that? What is you see? So it's like you're ripping everything. This is like the naked aspects of music. So here's what we're going to do. Let's look at the major scale because the major scale then helps us to understand a little bit of the things that I've just been playing. So I'm going to give you two versions of maybe a definition. Okay. A scale is any set of musical notes ordered by fundamental frequency or pitch. My goodness. Musical notes ordered by fundamental frequency or pitch. I feel like that's too complex. Let me give you what I call the heartfelt definition. A scale is a breakdown of notes in letters according to pitch that give us a language to the music that we hear, yeah, sing, or feel in and around us. It will enable us to recognize, record, or recall music. Wait a minute. I like that so much. Recognize, record, or recall. So what you have is notes that have been given pitch. Okay, it's just agreed on that this note here is given. So the note has a letter name and it's given a particular pitch. Okay, so let's look at that. So we're looking at the major scale. Now, I'd like also to say that there are so many scales, and I really just want to lock in on the major scale because I feel what once you understand the aspects of the major scale, you basically dealt with everything. Now, there are about seven things that we'll talk about the major scale. The first one is that there are seven notes. Okay, there are seven notes. And this is how the seven notes look like. So you have the do, the re, the mi, the fa, the sol, the la, and the T. Let me try and name them in the way you pronounce them. Do, re, mi. Some use E, but I'll use mi. Fa, so, la. La. It feels like Latin or a French. La. And then that's the T. Okay, so there are 7 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 notes. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. And what happens with these notes is that they are all given a particular pitch. Okay, so you have something that sounds like this. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. On the piano that I'm using here, I'm in the key of C. I'll deal with the keys and the scale or scale and keys in another video, but I just want to deal with the major scale. I'm just using this for reference for your ear. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Okay, so there are actually 7 notes. That's important to remember. And I've put them in an ascending order so that you can easily see that they have its pitch. It's so the do and the re are not the same. The do has its own step, the re has its own step, the mi has its own step. So you see, so you can't say do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. I'm watching you. Oh yes. So do, re, mi, fa, so. You see how the eyebrows keep going up. La, ti, la, so, fa, mi, re, do. You see that? Okay, so then that makes it easy to remember actually. So there are 7 notes. Now, that's the first aspect I want you to see. The second aspect is the 8th note. Allow me to use red, which is the do at the top that makes it complete. Because when you end on the T note, it feels incomplete. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. So when you have the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do, makes it what they call an octave. You see, we are learning here many things in one thing. Okay, so that's the octave. Beautiful. Octave. Oct is 8. So when you have the complete sound of the scale, you have the octave. Okay. So sometimes you'll hear maybe a choir leader say, "Ladies, sing from up." Say, "Men, sing from down." Did you hear me? Lord, you know so funny. Right there. Okay. So there are different octaves. Octaves sort of just show us how high or how low we are. It's just octave. It's up here, there, there. So it's like the scale just in different batches going up pitch or down in pitch. Okay. The third important thing I want to highlight here is the do, which is also the root, which is also the home note. It's like the founding note. It's like the pillar note. It's like the note of beginnings. Woo. In other words, if you don't have the do, it's like the ruler, how it has the 0 point. That's the do note. If you don't have the do, how did you get the rest? So back in the day when I was learning piano, I used to play in spaces where the singer starts singing, and I sort of have to look for them. What I was looking for at the time was the do note. I didn't know. I know better now, but I didn't know. So no one had told me then. So I was trying to figure out where they are, and so I was looking for that do note, and that's how important that note is. It's the home note, it's the founding note, it's the note where it's like the yardstick. It's like you're starting here and then everything is measured according to it. How far is the other note from here? Okay, so do, re, do, mi, do, fa, do, so, do, la, do, ti, do, la. Use the piano. Do, re, do, mi, do, fa, do, so, do, la, do, ti, do. Do, ti, do, la, do, so, do, fa, do, mi, do, re, do. Okay? So it's you're trying to find out how far are we from the home note, the founding note. The other thing is that this is powerful. This is important. This is about everything about the scale, the steps. Because I already told you that I have written it out in ascending order to show you that every note is different from the other. So there are notes that we are skipping in between here, and so I'm going to show you the whole steps and the half steps. Okay, so where are our whole steps and where are our half steps? Because the thing is that there is movement, but there's a different level. There's a like it's like you're in different dynamics, or now let's call them levels. Let's call them steps. That should be easy for us to remember. So there are whole steps and there are half steps. When I say whole step, I mean that there's a note in there that we are skipping. I'll come a little bit to the detail of that, but I just want to show you where we are skipping. So where there's a dot, we have skipped a note. Do, re, mi, fa. We don't skip a note there. Fa, then between a fa and a so. So we skip a note there. La, we skip a note there. Then ti, and then between ti and do, it's a half step. So let me try out using another marker here to just show you where we skipped the notes. All right. Okay, so we skipped a note there, do, we skip a note there. Then here is a half step. Then between the fa and so is a whole step. Between the so and la is a whole step. Between the la and t is a whole step. And then we have a half step right there between the t and the do. So I'm going to just mark it with W to mean whole. Whole. This is half. Use the small h. Whole, 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 and then half. Okay. So everywhere you see the dot, we are skipping a note. So do, re, mi. So the notes that I'm not singing are the notes that we are skipping. Do, re, mi, fa, so, la, ti, then do. Okay, so we have 2 points where we don't skip a note. This is very important because when we come to keys and dealing with different keys, you realize that this is everything. Once you learn the whole steps and the half steps, everything is like hidden in this. Do, re, mi, fa, so, la, ti, then ti, do. Okay. So that mi, fa, ti, do are the 2 points where you don't skip a note. I feel like this is everything. I feel like once someone understands this, they have understood the basics of really what makes the major scale the major scale. Okay, so you realize that these are notes that you hear every day. When I think about the Lord, do, re, mi, fa. Okay, oh no, not mi, fa. Mi, re. That's so funny, actually. If I to get another song, joy to the world, the Lord is come. Joy to the soul, fa, mi, re, do. So you see, it's every note that you sing is going to be played on exactly this, how it is. Da da do mi so. Some of the melodies are like that. Da, 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 da. Every song is written over these notes. Every song. Okay. Actually, it's very fun when I say that because I used to think when I had some songs from some artists, I used to think that what they sang wasn't anywhere on the piano. That was my interpretation of complex. It's not on the piano. It's not there. But then I learned later on that everything that is sung is on the piano. I was like, how? It's because I just didn't know the wisdom of the major scale. All right, I'm about to finish this off. I'm going to show you maybe just one more thing. Okay, so there's the donut. These are named differently in different aspects. I'm going to show you something real quick. When you hear someone say play the one, play the two, play the three, play the four, play the five, play the six, and play the seven, an eighth or one, it's the same thing. Where you have the do, that's a one. Do, the re is a two, the mi is a three, the fa is a four, and then you have the five, which is the so, six is the la, seven is the ti, then do. Okay? Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, the 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So it's the same thing. The numbers and the letters are the same. As you go up the scale, it's just the numbering from 1 to 8. Then you come back down to the 1. It's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. It's as simple as that. Maybe the other thing that I would do is how to name the hidden notes. I'm calling them the hidden notes. When we're dealing with the hidden notes, there's another scale that's called the chromatic scale, which is basically the detail of the major scale, which is so all you're doing is you're playing every note of the major scale. Every note of the major scale. All right. So I've just shown you a few things about the major scale that you can remember. Maybe one of these days I'll work on something called the sound of the major scale. I realize I can't do it now because I just feel like too much info in one video. But it's just learning how to hear the major scale and different points of the major scale. So about 5, 6 things that we've talked about. One is that there are 7 notes. Two is that the eighth note makes the octave, which makes it a complete scale. Three is that there's the root note, which is the home note, which is the yardstick, which is the pillar note, where everything else is built. And then you have the steps, number 4, the steps, which is the whole steps and the half steps. Whole, half, whole, half. Whole, half, whole, half. Those are the steps. And then there is the naming, which is either you're using the solfege, the solfas, or the numbering system. There are others who have other names, but really, no one is going to come up asking you, tell me, are you using the root, or is that the leading note, or is that the dominant? Can you play the dominant as we sing this song? Can you please play the dominant? How about if you play the mediant? You see, it's rare that someone is going to ask you. It's good to know, but I feel like if you know the solfege and the numbers, the solfas and the numbers, you're good to go. Okay, and then we have just the detail of the major scale, which is like the chromatic scale, just knowing the do, di, re, mi, fa, fi, sol, si, la, ti, do. Okay, so just 2 things that I want to mention here. Learn this major scale by heart, whether you're a musician, a singer. Well, singers are also musicians. Learn it by heart. Learn it by heart. Be able to wake up in the morning and go do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Then the other one that I did, do, re, do, mi, do, fa, do, sol, do, la, do, ti, do. Then you can even make it a little more complex. Do, ti, do, la, do, sol, do, fa, do, mi, do, re, do. Just learn different things about them. Just play with it. Do, mi, sol, la, ti, do, la, fa, mi, re, do. I was looking for it there. Where are you? Yeah, just learn different things learn how it sounds like. I'll come back and show you some, hacks here and there that you can use, but just learn it as a musician, just learn it. Because almost every melody is built on that, every harmony is built on that. So just learn it. The other thing that I would say is that learn the chromatic scale by heart. Do, di, re, mi, fa, fi, so, si, la, ti. Just if you learn the chromatic scale by heart, yo, 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 yeah, I really think that you have more to use as a musician. Ask some questions in the comments below and let's have conversation. Let's learn together. I hope this has been helpful. I'll see you in the next one.